A freelance graphic designer spends $4,000 on a UX design certification course. She already works in design. The course teaches new skills in an adjacent area she wants to add to her services. Is that $4,000 deductible? The IRS's answer depends on a single question. Does the education maintain or improve skills required in your current business, or does it qualify you for a new trade or profession? If the certification simply adds a skill set to existing design work, likely deductible. If it qualifies her to enter a new career field, user experience as a separate profession from graphic design, the IRS says it is not. The line is finer than it appears. The controlling authority is Treasury Regulation 1.1625. It allows a deduction for education expenses that either maintain or improve skills required in your currently established trade or business, or that meet the express requirements of your employer or applicable law as a condition of retaining your position or compensation. It expressly disallows deductions for education that qualifies you for a new trade or business, even if you do not intend to enter that new field. Intent is irrelevant. Qualification is the test. If the credential or degree by its nature opens a new career door, the cost is not deductible under Section 162. Concrete examples of what qualifies. A freelance copywriter taking an advanced SEO writing course, deductible as it improves skills directly used in current work. A self-employed therapist taking continuing education units required to maintain licensure, deductible as a mandatory requirement of the profession. A software contractor taking a course in a new programming language relevant to their current projects, deductible. A bookkeeper taking an accounting software certification that helps them serve existing clients better, deductible. The common thread: the education enhances what you already do in your existing business. Concrete examples of what does not qualify. A marketing consultant pursuing a law degree even if they plan to add legal services to their practice because a law degree qualifies them for a new trade. A freelance personal trainer pursuing a physical therapy degree, even if they already work with clients on rehabilitation, because physical therapy licensure is a new profession. An accountant pursuing an MBA, the IRS has ruled on this specifically. If the MBA qualifies the individual for a position different in nature from their current work, it is non-deductible. The courts have consistently upheld this bright-line rule regardless of the taxpayer's stated purpose. The types of expenses that qualify within a deductible education category: tuition, books, supplies, lab fees, and course materials. Transportation to and from classes at the standard mileage rate or actual expenses. Meals and lodging for out-of-town education programs at the business travel standards, professional conference and seminar registration fees, online course subscriptions directly related to your trade, and the business use portion of research materials, journals, and trade publications. All of these are reported as ordinary business expenses on Schedule C, under the education or professional development line. What about education taken before the business fully exists? If you take courses to prepare to enter a new field before you have established yourself in that field as a going business, the IRS characterizes that as qualifying for a new trade, not improving an existing one. Startup education costs are treated differently. You are not yet in the business, so the education cannot maintain or improve existing skills. This is the distinction between a working consultant who takes advanced training and a prospective consultant who takes training before their first client. The former is likely deductible. The latter is likely not. The lifetime learning credit, up to $2,000 per year, is available for tuition expenses that do not qualify as a business deduction. If your education is for a new career or for personal development, the credit, not the deduction, may be your available benefit. The credit applies to qualified tuition paid to an eligible educational institution and is 20% of the first $10,000 in expenses. It is non-refundable and phases out at $80,000 of modified AGI for single filers in 2024. If your education is deductible as a business expense, you generally cannot also claim the lifetime learning credit for the same expenses. The American Opportunity Tax Credit, worth up to $2,500 per year per student, applies only to the first 4 years of post-secondary education. If you are pursuing an undergraduate degree while running a business, the AOTC may be more valuable than the business deduction, and they are mutually exclusive for the same expenses. At a 22% tax bracket, a $4,000 deduction saves you $880. A $2,500 tax credit saves you $2,500. When education qualifies for both treatment options, calculate which yields more value. In most cases, a refundable or partially refundable credit beats a deduction at moderate income levels. Practical documentation for self-employed education deductions, retain your course registration or enrollment confirmation, invoices or receipts for tuition and materials, a written note connecting the specific course content to your current business activities, and any business purpose statement from the course provider. If the connection between the education and your current work is not immediately obvious, particularly for certification programs in adjacent fields, a one-paragraph written explanation in your records is useful. Audit examiners reviewing Schedule C will look at large education deductions, and a clear business nexus documented in writing resolves most questions before they become disputes. The education deduction is valuable, real, and available to every self-employed person who invests in improving the skills they use in their current business. The single test that determines deductibility: does this education maintain or improve existing skills, or does it qualify you for a new profession? Answer honestly. The court record on this is extensive and consistent. Get the characterization right and the deduction is clean. If you want to understand how to handle startup costs for a new business, including preparation expenses before you have your first client, our video on startup cost deductions, the $5,000 first-year write-off, most new businesses. Miss covers the exact rules.